One day, our Pip-Boy picks up a brand new radio broadcast called the Sierra Madre Casino Broadcast.
Has your life taken a turn? Do troubles beset you? Has fortune left you behind? If so, the Sierra Madre Casino, in all its glory, is inviting you to begin again. Come to a place where wealth, excitement, and intrigue await around every corner. Stroll along the winding streets of our beautiful resort, make new friends, or rekindle old flames. Let your eyes take in the luxurious expanse of the open desert under clear, starlit skies. Gaze straight on into the sunset from our villa rooftops. Countless diversions await. Gamble in our casino, take in the theater, or stay in one of our exclusive executive suites that will shelter you and cater to your every whim. So if life's worries have weighed you down, if you need an escape from your troubles, or if you just need an opportunity to begin again, join us. Let go and leave the world behind at the Sierra Madre grand opening this October. We'll be waiting.
The Sierra Madre, where one can go to begin again. The broadcast takes us to no man's land between Nelson and Camp Forlorn Hope. We find that the signal is emanating out of a drainage gate to a Brotherhood of Steel bunker. Inside the bunker, we find graffiti on the wall, left my heart in the Sierra Madre. Gone to Sierra Madre. And disturbingly, on the far side of the room, we find a decapitated corpse, wearing a unique outfit. I don't believe we've seen this before. Down the stairs, we see Sierra Madre with an arrow pointing down, and we come to a door. Opening the door, we see a light shining on something at the end of a hallway, and most conspicuously, we find the Brotherhood of Steel logo painted in yellow paint on the wall. Heading down the hallway, we see a drop box on one wall and a locked terminal on the other. Unlocking the terminal allows us to unlock the door at the end of this room, and we find ourselves in some sort of research lab. The blackboard in front of us has a number of figures and signs. It's hard to make out. There's a terminal at the end of this room, but it says that it requires a key. We don't have access to this yet. There's a T-45 power armor helmet and lots of scrap. I'm making a mental note to come back and loot all of this scrap later. In the middle of the room, we find a chemistry set, and it's called Elijah's chemistry set. Activating it allows us to collect a residue sample. If we pass the science check, we get a jar of cloud residue. What on earth is cloud residue? We find it in our miscellaneous tab. It just says cloud residue. We have no idea what it's used for. But the most notable thing is that this is Elijah's chemistry set. We recognize that name. We should know it well by now. We've befriended the Brotherhood of Steel. We've done every quest within the hidden bunker. We've become fast friends with Veronica, his protege. And they have told us all about their former elder, Father Elijah.
Who was Elijah more like? He was our elder before McNamara. Bright guy, but just between you and me, he was a little off. Our mission is to recover and preserve the technology of the past. But Elijah wanted more. He sought ways to improve upon technology, make it better. When we found Helios 1, he was like a kid in a candy store, kept talking about the potential and a grand design never realized. He even insisted we set up our base there, against the objection of nearly every paladin. What followed is a whole other story. That place was hardly defensible, and we knew the NCR was moving in on us, but the Elder refused to budge, insisting that he just needed more time. We never found out what he needed time for. Wave upon wave of NCR troopers hit us from all directions. We held out for a time, but we were grossly outnumbered, and they had more men than we had ammo. Eventually, our positions collapsed. Elder Elijah was nowhere to be found, so McNamara took charge and led what remained of us on a counteroffensive west. We lost a lot of men and women, but we broke through and made it here. Make no mistake, McNamara saved this chapter that day.
He was our elder when we came east. A wizard with technology, really. His mind just worked that way, naturally. I learned a lot from him. But he started having disagreements with the other elders. The Brotherhood's interest is in old technology. He wanted to explore developing new tech. And there were other ways he wanted to push, other weapons, ones with ethics questions attached. Rather than deal with him, they sent him east. I would say he was my tutor, but that doesn't cover it. After my parents passed, he looked after me. The whole Brotherhood brought me up, really, but he made sure of it. I never had a grandfather, not that I knew anyway, but Elijah was in some ways what I'd imagined a grandfather to be. For years, he fought with the council, taught me to question our direction. Meanwhile, he'd become more out of touch than all of them. On our way east, he demanded we stop at Helios 1 to examine it. While we were there, we received word that the NCR had taken the dam. He was furious. Called it children playing with a bomb, but he was mad because we'd lost his power. What we'd use it for. He didn't even care. Elijah could look at an old device and immediately understand what made it work. And he could see its potential, where it fit with other technology. It's not something he could teach, but he tried with me. Some of it stuck. But that's what he taught me. You ask what I learned from him. I learned what I don't want to become. In the end, there was just him and his vision. Nothing and no one else. Last time anyone saw him was in the battle at Helios 1. I wasn't there. He gave orders to hold the plant until he could be reactivated. But he ran out of time. The NCR overran it. Everyone thought he was dead. But I got a note from him at a comm station. It was strange. Even for Father Elijah. He's always been unstable, but this was something else. I don't want to say delusional, but I don't know what else to call it. The only thing familiar about it was the signature. He said the Brotherhood was doomed, but that he'd return, save us. But the way he said it, I don't know. Said he'd return with one of the greatest treasures of the old world, make the Mojave like it was meant to be. Wipe the slate clean.
Could this be the place where Elijah went after his defeat at Helios 1? We already saw the Brotherhood of Steel logo painted on the wall. At the foot of this bed is the Brotherhood footlocker. Every sign is telling us that this is the home or former home of Father Elijah himself. In the corner of the room, we see an interesting vending machine. At least it's called a vending machine, but at first glance it doesn't look like a vending machine. It looks more like a jukebox or something. We learned that this is actually a crafting station. However, it doesn't accept any of the currency we have, neither caps nor pre-war money. We see a slot on the side of it that has a Sierra Madre casino symbol on it. Inside, we see that it has a number of recipes. Uniquely, at the very end, it gives us the option to return cigarettes, but it doesn't tell us what we'll get in return. With the lab fully explored, we can go down the hallway and turn left at the Brotherhood of Steel logo towards the artifact on display in the next room. We are knocked to the ground, and Veronica and Ed E. leave our company.
You've heard of the Sierra Madre Casino. We all have. The legend, the curses, foolishness about it lying in the middle of the city of the dead, buried beneath a blood-red cloud. A bright, shining monument luring treasure hunters to their doom. The world's most famous stars and entertainers were invited to its grand opening. An invitation was a sign of exclusiveness. The opening was supposed to symbolize a road to a brighter future, not just for the world, but for all who came to its doors. A chance for anyone to begin again. Except the Sierra Madre never opened. The war froze it in time, like a big flashbulb going off. The grand opening, one big ending of humanity. It's still out there, in the wastes, preserved, just waiting for someone to crack it open. But getting to it, that's not the hard part. It's letting go.
We wake up on the floor. We stand to our feet. Our head is woozy, and lightning strikes.
Are you listening? Good. From now on, when I talk, listen and follow my instructions. Play stupid, play clever. Make the mistake of saying no. That collar on your with it.
Collar? What are you talking about?
It's like that Pip Boy on your wrist, except filled with explosives. A little radio of the old world. Just needed some tuning. Do what I say, and the collar will go off. Refuse, try and run, disobey me, I'll kill you and find someone else. There's no escape from here until I let you go. The sooner you accept your situation, the better. Do you think I wanted to place collars on you to ensure compliance? No. If robots could have done this, I would have sent them. The Sierra Madre is a complicated lock. Cracking it open requires human hands.
What is it that you want?
That structure you see above the fountain, the Sierra Madre Casino. You need to break inside. Heist. Too many years in the making. But to get inside, avoid its traps, you'll need to gather a team. As I found, one cannot do it alone. Around the villa are 3 other callers like yours. Caller 8, 12, and 14. Find all 3 and get them here to the fountain. Then we'll talk more. And should you get any ideas about killing each other and taking the treasure of the Sierra Madre for yourself, a warning. All your callers are linked. One of you dies, you all die. If that's what it takes to make you cooperate, so be it.
So my explosive slave collar is connected to other people, and if they die, I die? Why would you do that?
Because in some respects, breaking into the Sierra Madre is easier than breaking human instinct. Greed. The villa is filled with corpses. Some killed by the dangers here, some by me. Others turned on each other. Once they realized the Sierra Madre could be theirs, they cared nothing for their freedom, their survival, or each other. The ones brought here live on only in what they've left behind. Their marks, graffiti on the walls, and victims they've killed. Some tried to help, left supplies and healing for others who came. Their reward? They were tracked down, killed by others with baser instincts. Some of these murderers went as far as to leave traps behind them, turning markers for help into death traps for anyone following them. It killed some of them when they forgot where the traps were, or when they desperately needed the assistance they had cut others off from.
Oh, what a predicament. We found Father Elijah only to discover that he's a madman. And before we can leave, we have to help him break into a casino. A casino that's been locked for over 200 years. Now that we know our fate, we can talk with Father Elijah about some of the other dangers that we will find here. He mentioned the villa's inhabitants.
Yes, inhabitants. Avoid them if you can. They are difficult to kill. Whatever has created them, bullets, explosions, energy, it can make them inert for a time, then they seem to crawl back up, restored. Perhaps it's the cloud. Perhaps something in their physiology.
All right, well, what is the cloud?
It is the cloud that surrounds the villa. It shouldn't prove lethal in the time you were here. Prolonged exposure would be hazardous, however. Fall asleep, and you will not wake up. You may smell it in the air, copper and sulfur. Burns the lungs and seeps into the skin. As for its origins, I'm not certain. Pre-war industrial pollutants. Something in the Sierra Madre structure. It is unique across the wasteland. And deadly. It has kept this place preserved since the Great War. The air here is lethal only if you enter concentrated pockets of the cloud. Too long inside one, you'll die. So be careful where you step.
Okay, besides the inhabitants, are there any other beings here?
Ghosts. They fill the villa. More in the casino. Much more. They carry out the functions the dead once did. They cannot be harmed. They only perform the same rote tasks until their power dies. They are of no consequence, except for the security holograms, the ones with the silhouettes of the armored Sierra Madre guards. Most holograms perform specific functions. The security holograms, ever since the bombs fell, now perform their function. They will kill anyone they detect. They are immune to guns, weapons, EMPs, even energy weapons. Still, at least they still work as intended. Other technology here is more of a threat to you. Notably, the villa's radios and speakers.
Alright, so we'll find some holograms and the security guards can actually kill us. But what did you mean when you said that the radios and speakers were more of a threat for us?
Yes, music was intended to be broadcast all over the villa. Over time, however, the radio signal has decayed and emits a different frequency. Speakers and radios interfere with the bomb caller frequency and can trigger the detonators prematurely. You'll hear a beep from your caller's detonator. When you do, step back, scan the area, and find the signal source. It is an unfortunate side effect, one I did not anticipate. I was unable to calibrate the callers to block the signals. So, you'll have to make do.
Oh, what kind of nightmare is this? Elijah, can you tell me a little bit more about this place?
Unfamiliar with the legend of the Sierra Madre? The casino exists. You are one of the few who look upon it. Where you're standing is the villa beneath the casino above. The wreckage. The villa lies in the shadow. The villa is a dumping ground of failed construction. Pre-war junk that has aged poorly.
What's inside the casino that's so important that you want?
That is for me to know. You get that far, you'll see for yourself.
Alright, Elijah, I know a little bit about your reputation, but in your own words, who are you?
Someone who followed the call of the Sierra Madre just as you did. Now that I've found it's more than a story, I intend to take what's inside. Maybe that's why you came. Why you followed the Pip-Boy here, and straight into one of my traps. Now, this is your reward.
Maybe we'll get more answers from him later on, but for the moment, we must attend the task at hand. Father Elijah, you mentioned something about finding 3 others. What exactly do you want me to do right now?
Gather the 3 others needed for this job, return them here. After that, I'll have more instructions for you. One is a trusted ally. Obedient, caller or no, although the caller helps. The other 2, well, we'll have to see what the trap's got.
Any idea where I can find these people?
Your piece of Rocco trash will help you, I've insured it. It can latch onto the signal of the callers and tune into their frequencies. The bomb callers come with radios embedded in them. You can eavesdrop easily. It was part of their design to listen in. They can even screen out white noise from the environment to allow greater monitoring.
Alright, well, which one should I track down first?
Caller 8, the FEV reject, the super mutant. He is docile, predictable, and provided he's not starving, should be easy to command. I lost contact with him some time ago. Probably after he dragged you here from the trap. Find him. He'll follow you, caller or no. Travel west toward the Villa police station. Follow the radio frequency and the alarms. Although there's a great deal of interference at the source, perhaps that's why I lost contact with him. No matter. Aside from caller 8, there should be weapons, armor at the police station. Go west. Avoid the Villa inhabitants. Bring the mutants back.
So, we gotta find a super mutant. Well, if it's our only option, I guess we have no choice but to start work.
I've downloaded the instructions and markers on your Pip-Boy, in case you forget. And yes, I have access to that device on your wrist. Get the other 3 here. After that, I'll have more instructions for you. Do this, I'll let you go. I'll let all of you go.
With that, Father Elijah disappears. Where his holographic face once stood, we now find the standing figure of a leggy woman. We can always talk with Elijah again. We can ask him about this figure. Who is she?
I do not know. A pre-war icon, perhaps. It is of no consequence, aside from being a servant I can utilize.
Maybe we'll learn more about her as we uncover the secrets of the Sierra Madre. But what if we say that we're not going to help him? What if we stubbornly refuse?
When you came into the bunker, you saw a victim, their head blown off for disobedience. The city is filled with other stories, many such stories. Is no your choice?
No, Elijah, I'm not helping you.
Then you are of no use to me.
Well, looks like we have only one choice. Now that Elijah's gone, we have free reign of the villa outside the casino. All of our gear is gone, but Elijah has given us some more. We have one weapon, a hollow rifle, no aid, stim packs, or anything else. And the only item we have equipped that we have access to is the Dead Money jumpsuit, which grants us +5 to repair. Our Pip-Boy does map out the local area. We see a map of the villa outside the casino, as well as our next destination, the Super Mutant. Now, if we try to turn around and leave, Elijah stops us.
That's a way out after you break into the Sierra Madre's vault. Try to leave. I'll set off your caller.
So we can't leave, and it looks like the other people Elijah has kidnapped have left graffiti. Try to leave, and boom. Turning around and heading the opposite direction, we see a gate leading to the casino. But as we get close...
This gate to the Sierra Madre is sealed, locked, for now. Do as I say, and it won't be locked for much longer.
The helpful graffiti on the wall says, Gala is the only way in. I wonder what that means. So this leaves us with two directions, east or west. In the fountain where the leggy woman stands, we find a whole bunch of Sierra Madre chips. And against the southern wall, we find a vending machine, just like we found in Father Elijah's chamber. And at last we understand what kind of currency this machine accepts. It only accepts Sierra Madre chips. This is our sole resource. Stim packs, food, ammunition. We must get it all from these terminals. At this moment, all we can sell to gain more chips are cigarettes, so we need to keep our eyes open for any aid items lying about as well as cigarettes. Now, there were 4 dangers that Elijah warned us about. The first is the cloud. As we explore, we see the cloud and it's fairly obvious. The cloud is this thick red mist that hangs in the air. Areas that are heavy with the cloud will often have patches of residue on the ground or the walls that we can harvest to gain jars of cloud residue. But if we linger in the cloud for too long, we die. The next danger Elijah warned us about are the villa inhabitants. As we continue west looking for the FEV super mutant, Elijah warns us about them again.
Watch out for the villa inhabitants. They're difficult to kill unless you chop them apart. If you can, blow them up or disintegrate them.
These are the ghost people, and unless we hack off their limbs, they can't be killed. They rise again. He also mentioned holograms, but not all of the holograms are hostile. This, for example, is a passive hologram. He doesn't have a purpose at this time. But the more dangerous holograms are in the casino itself. These are the security holograms. We will meet them later. The final danger comes from speakers and radios. Elijah told us that the frequency that radios and speakers broadcast on here in the Sierra Madre conflicts with the frequency of our explosive slave collars. This means that as we get too close to a radio, our slave collar begins to beep. We then have to find the radio or the speaker, disable it or destroy it before our head explodes. We've already seen what that looks like. Now, the villa outside the casino is vast and sprawling. I can't overstate just how sprawling it is. As one of those players who likes to explore every nook and cranny and loot every important object, I spent hours and hours between tasks just exploring the villa. Every room begins to look the same. Every rooftop begins to look the same. Every danger makes me feel like I've been there before. As we explore, we'll pick up new weapons and armor. I managed to find a full suit of security armor and a police pistol. This is my cowboy pistol character, so it ended up working out just fine. Along the way, we will uncover a lot of lore about the Sierra Madre Casino itself, its construction, who built it, why he built it, who is Sinclair, who is Vera. I'm skipping that now because I'm going to save all of that wonderful lore for a video dedicated to the full story of the casino itself, its pre-war history, and the people who built it. But right now, I want to focus on our task at hand, and our task for the moment is to find the super mutant. Now, Elijah told us that we can pick up the frequencies of the other slave callers on our Pip-Boy. They show up as radio broadcasts. The first one, and the one we are concerned with now, is frequency 631.08HZ ULF.
Hope the voice doesn't come back. Mean. Bad. Swallowed something bad. Tastes like burnt wires.
Sounds like the explosive slave caller eavesdrops on the wearer, allowing us to overhear even their private moments on our Pip-Boy. After following the signal for some time, we finally arrive at a police station. In the middle of the room, we see a large cell. In the cell is a nightkin super mutant with scars all over his body. The cell door is locked and it requires a key. We can't communicate with the super mutant. We can't unlock the door. But this must be the one that Elijah sent us to fetch. We need to find a way inside. Heading down the stairs to the basement level, we hear a voice over the PA system.
Knew you would come. Below the cage. Down to where I am. Maybe you saw the letters I scratched on the villa walls. A little farther. Follow my voice. That's it. The one in the cage? Dog. I had to lock him up. He keeps disobeying me.
So we learn the name of the super mutant. His name is Dog. But who is this other voice? As we open a sliding door to enter one of the back rooms, the voice over the PA system reaches out to us again.
That's me, there on the table. The disc. My voice. Can't take any chances, though. You may be some victim who simply stumbled down here. If so, can't let you let Dog out. No, not yet. If you're who I think you are, you came to fetch Dog, use him to drag others here. Now I'll use you, and that Pip-Boy you're wearing. You're smart, clever. The key to Dog's cage is simple. Take my voice to the cage above. Let me speak to the beast inside. Then you and we can talk.
What? Okay. Well, we go ahead and take this holotape called the Dog Command Tape. It's a holotape, and we can listen to it.
Dog, back in the cage.
But what does this mean? Well, our only choice right now is to do what this mysterious voice instructed, because we must recruit this super mutant, and so far this is the only way. Heading back upstairs and going to the cell door, we see Dog the super mutant sitting on the ground. The door is still locked, but we can open up our Pip-Boy and play the message.
Dog, back in the cage.
What have we here? You weren't who I was expecting. I'm disappointed. Still, even if you aren't my intended guest, you take direction. Good. You can't have been an idiot to figure out how to release me from my cage. Or perhaps you are, with that leash on your arm, and the one around your neck. With our collars and manacles, why, we may as well be kin.
Whoa, this super mutant was whimpering and sniveling a moment ago. Now he is lucid, and he speaks clearly. What happened to your voice?
I'm the voice of reason. I sleep sometimes. Down in the basement, in the cage. Now that I'm awake, Dog goes back in the cage. Dog knows I'm here, but can't do anything about it. I'm his conscience. Keep him tame, keep him from hurting us, doing foolish things. I've been trapped in here for some time. Then you come along and let me out. So, you opened my cage for a reason. Now, I want to know why.
I see. So we already know that nightkin can be a little bit crazy due to their prolonged exposure to stealth boys. We saw this on display with the story of Tabitha at Black Mountain. Sounds like this super mutant has a split personality. That name carved on your chest. Are you Dog?
The carving's a reminder for mirrors and for Dog. Dog, who you heard coming in, howling and hungry, as always.
But we're looking for a super mutant wearing an explosive slave collar, but we don't see one on this guy's neck. Where's your collar?
It's close. Closer than I'd like. Dog's been into things, needs to think before he eats, chew before he swallows. He's eager that way. Now the collar's a part of me. Inside. I can feel its electronic heartbeat, clicking and burning down below. Like before. It was cold and heavy before going in the cage. Now you're here, and it's pulling and kicking again, tugging like a leash. Interesting.
How did you eat one of those collars?
They detach. When segmented, they look like nothing more than metallic rad scorpions. And if they're attached to neck flesh, warm, red. Dog doesn't care what's on the body he's crushing in his hands. He'll mangle it, twist it, make it fit until he's full. Dog can't help himself. Hungry, greedy. And now the collar's inside, alive again. And we're trapped here until it goes cold.
Well, maybe you shouldn't go around shoving old world technology into your stomach.
As if I had a choice. Sometimes instinct takes over, and that's when I go into the cage. It's like curiosity that way. After all, you wouldn't have put that collar on by choice. Perhaps it was your curiosity that caused that hand to close on your neck.
Alright, so you're the guy I'm looking for, but why did you lock yourself in a cage?
No. Why did I lock him in the cage? I locked him in because I could feel him getting hungry again. There wasn't much time. If Dog roams, he gets into trouble. Eats things he shouldn't. Listens to others he shouldn't. So he's safer in here. We're safer in here. I hoped if I locked him in here, the one he obeys would come for him. Instead, I get you.
I see. So Dog is your alternate personality, and you locked yourself, but really Dog, in the cage. But who were you hoping would come looking for Dog?
Don't play stupid. I already have to mind one child. You must have figured it out by now. The old man obsessed with the Sierra Madre, riddled with greed. Hoped you might be him when I woke up. All you are is his hand. You're the same kind of greed. Followed the radio, the broadcast, and now you're here, all confused. Not for long. You'll figure it out.
Why do you say that I'm the same as the old man?
You're not him any more than I'm Dog. But that collar around your neck, You're an extension of the old man's grasp. Clumsy, perhaps, but a tool, yes. And once you get acclimated to the Sierra Madre, then you'll feel the same overpowering hunger the old man does. And then you'll be him, not just his hand.
Tell me what you know about the old man.
Elijah. Human. Weak like all of you are. Feeling age circling him like starved dogs, howling for blood. To me, he reeks of age and failure. And madness. To me, he is simply the old man. To Dog, he is Master. His name, meaningless. Running out of years, hopes and dreams running through his withered hands like sand from the big empty. And scorched by the sun.
Scorched by the sun?
The old man, this Elijah, tried to hold the sun in his hands. Arrogance. Was cast down for it. Icarus' crime was to fly too high. Elijah wanted to bring the sun down to him. Arrogance.
Here he is referring to the moment when Father Elijah, still the elder of the Brotherhood of Steel, tried to find the Euclid Seafinder and the Archimedes orbiting satellite laser weapon at the Helios power plant. Helios was a Greek god who was the personification of the sun. When he says scorched by the sun, he's referring to Father Elijah's failure and the Brotherhood of Steel's failure at Helios 1. Well, can you tell me what Elijah is doing here?
Heard the call of the Sierra Madre, just like you did. Exactly the same way. Finds out it's more than a story. Comes to this shining, poisonous grail, this jewel of the desert. Dog knows him more than I do. Dog's always nodding, always obeying him, because he's weak and hungry and greedy for Master's affection.
Can you tell me how I got here? Do you know?
Of course I know. Even if I don't see it happen. Down in the cage, I hear echoes of the footfalls, the click of the collars. Every time I see one of you, I know exactly how you got here. You couldn't help yourselves, any more than Dog can help himself. You heard the voice, the promise, and then you walked right into one of the old man's traps. Then Dog comes for you, drags you here.
Oh, so you brought me here.
Me? You think I want to haul bodies around the wastes like a Brahmin at the whip? No. Dog does it. When the old man says fetch, Dog fetches. You were in a man trap, and Dog made his rounds and dragged you here. When, I don't know. But it must have been recent. Before the cage.
Why do you say that?
I don't remember you. That isn't surprising. What is that it was when Dog was out of his cage. Free, hungry. He knows not to eat anything he catches in the traps. After that, however, so he dragged you here. You got spared. Dog must have fed after you arrived. Once he was fed, that allowed me out of the cage and put him inside. Do you remember how long you were out?
I don't remember, no. I just remember passing out in the bunker and then waking up by the fountain.
Must have already been in the cage. Already had the collar in me. You're lucky Dog didn't devour you. Otherwise, we'd be closer than we are now.
All right, well, let's talk about getting you out of here. If you locked Dog in the cage, how do we get you out?
Oh, I have the key. Always did. Hid it on the chain behind my neck before Dog came bursting out, eating everything he could. Wanted to make sure whoever came to fetch Dog spoke to me first. Got within reach. Instead, I get you.
Wait, so you know the key is wrapped around your neck, but Dog doesn't?
Dog and I don't share everything. What I know, he doesn't. What he knows, what little he knows, I don't. For example, your arrival as a surprise. I wished that I could have remembered. I'm sure Dog knew. And when he's feeding, well, I sometimes have to find out about it later. Now all there is to do is wait for my intended guest.
But wait, if you had the key in there with you, couldn't the old man, if he came here looking for Dog, order Dog to open the cage?
Dog obeys, yes. Why? Do you have some means of contacting the old man?
Now this is where we make decisions that permanently affect Dog's outcome in this story. Father Elijah gave us his voice in order to command Dog. We can force God into unlocking the door by threatening to play Elijah's voice.
You don't play it. If you do, I'll find a way to get out of the cage, end you. I'll murder you, crush your arms and legs until...
Now that we have his attention, we can continue to use this threat to get him to comply with our wishes, or we can just go ahead and turn him into Dog, which is what we'll do now. Goodbye, whoever you are. I'm going to let Dog out of his cage.
No, don't! I'll make you suffer for this, I promise you! Although it may not matter. I suspect the Sierra Madre will be reward enough for ones like you.
We then play Elijah's audio tape.
Master, the Dog not hear you come in. Too hungry now. At cage door. Master, Dog is listening now you are close, and he can hear you over hunger.
Now that God is gone and Dog is back, we can tell Dog that the key is around his neck.
Dog doesn't have a... Here it is. Dog didn't know it was there. How did it get there?
Good, Dog. Now give me the key. You want out of that cage, don't you?
Yes, Master. Master sounds different. Quieter. Master, Dog doesn't want to be in the cage anymore. Dog will be good this time. Dog promises.
Let's go, Dog.
Yes, Master. Dog waited a long time. Brought you many people. Dog will follow.
With this, Dog joins us as a companion, and he gives us a companion perk, Ravenous Hunger. With Dog as our companion, Dog devours the ghost people so that you don't have to dismember their limbs, which prevents them from getting back up. We can then interview Dog for more information. Maybe he knows something his alternate personality God doesn't. Dog, how did you get here?
Here? Followed voice in air, then here. Here as long as can remember. Don't like this place. Hard to find things to eat sometimes. Better than the cage. Dog doesn't like being locked up. Voice in air didn't say anything about a cage and nothing to eat.
What do you mean by voice in the air?
Dog hears many voices. One in air, the other one, and Master. Master is the nicest. Gets mean, mad sometimes, but lets Dog feed. Master was quiet for a long time until Dog heard him on your arm. Did you eat him? Dog gets hungry too. Being hungry makes the voice mad.
What else can you tell me about Master?
He takes care of Dog. He tells Dog what to do. Told Dog to come here, put collars on people. Sometimes people fight. Dog holds them until they go quiet. Don't make any noise. If collars don't fit or go too quiet, find others for Master. Master makes the other voice go away. The other voice hates Master. Dog can feel it. Master's voice is like pain, protects Dog.
We can then learn that the act of eating his explosive collar is the thing that caused Dog's alternate personality God to lock him in the cell.
Lost it. Got hungry. Made the other voice mad, madder than it ever was. Mad enough to lock Dog up.
He doesn't know God's name. He refers to God as the other voice.
Other voice? Don't wake him up. When voice wakes up, Dog goes to sleep and voice climbs up in Dog's head. The voice puts Dog in places, puts him in cages and locks him in.
Dog, do you know how to wake up the other voice?
Sometimes when dog gets tired, or eats too much, gets full. Sometimes when dog goes to the cage, then voice wakes up. The voice locks dog in when it comes up, always trying to keep dog from food. Voice did it at the cage where you found me. Then Master came.
Can you tell me more about the other voice inside you?
Don't know where other voice come from. Wish would go away. Always trying to stop dog, caging dog. Voice started talking not long ago, dog think. Was always there. Start talking when Master showed up. Making dog sleep, go to cage. Voice hates Master. It okay. Voice always hide when Master around. Go quiet. Watch Master as he does things. Voice scared of Master, dog thinks.
The Master sounds like he treats you well.
Master always feed dog if not in cage. Master lets dog do what dog wants. Not like other voice in cage. Always mad with dog, shouting at him.
Dog, are you the one who brought us here?
Dog fetches. Dragged you here. Dog thinks. You not struggle like others. Trap makes you sleep. Make your voice go to cage. Dog doing what he was told. Tried to catch as many as he can eat the others. No eat you, though. Master talk through you, like voice inside dog. Dog missed hearing Master, not hear Master for a long time.
So the thing that kept Dog from eating us is that Elijah used our Pip-Boy to communicate with Dog. Dog, could you find the way back to Vegas if you wanted to?
Might find way back if Master lets you go. If he not want you to go, he makes head red spray. Then dog has to find another one. To leave? Go through gate. Walk. Hard to find way. Dog can do it. Too hard for most to come here. Why so quiet in streets?
Alright, well, could I find my way back?
Maybe. Not sure you could find way back once leave. Dog has to smell and hunt for path back here sometimes. Cloud keep moving. It okay. No one ever leave except dog. And dog not want to leave. You here until Master lets you go.
What exactly do you eat, Dog?
Dog eats whatever he can catch. Sometimes they run, but dog is strong, moves fast. Sometimes makes voice mad when I eat. Master doesn't mind.
What about all those scars on your body? Where did you get them?
Hurt self. Hurt makes the voice go away. It doesn't like pain. Dog doesn't like pain either, but keeps voice quiet, so dog will hurt self until voice dies. Dog hurt self enough, voice go away, never come back.
Is that a bear trap you have on your arm?
Dog put his hand in it. Hurts. Made the voice go away. Now can't get it off. Don't want it off. Hurt keeps voice sleeping. Bleeding. It also keeps others quiet too. Dog hits them with metal bear teeth until their voices stop. Makes Master's voice come back.
Your name is carved into your chest. Did you do that?
Yes. No. Don't know what the word means. Everyone says the same, except the voice. The voice says it backward.
Now from here we can continue on with the quest as Dog is our companion. Later on, if we want, we can always command Dog to bring God out. Dog is the only source of one of the perks you can get in the game, called Ghost Hunter. That perk makes it more likely that ghost people will simply die after you kill them without needing to be dismembered first. However, instead of turning God into Dog, we get some other options. If we never turn God back into Dog at all during our playthrough of the DLC, then we get an option at the end to help God force out the dog personality. I also want to earn the trust of God, so I'm going to load a previous save and talk with God again, and instead of threatening him to get compliance by using the threat of using Elijah's voice to turn him into dog, and instead of simply turning him into dog to get compliance, I'm going to find some other way to talk with him to convince him to join me. God, I need you to get out of there.
No, I don't think so. Even in here, I have more control than you do. I'm not leaving until the one who controls the collars shows. Not his voice, not his hand, not his lackey. Him. And when he comes to see me, we'll settle things. So go on. Go back to your master. Tell him I'm waiting for him. Dog may follow him. I won't.
We can try to threaten him by saying that if he doesn't get out of there, we're going to set off his collar.
Then I still win. I'd rather die in this cell than have Dog follow him any longer, follow his orders, his commands, desperate for recognition. The old man, he has the need to hold on, to the past, to the Madre. I'd rather be free. Let go of this shell than have it cage me any longer.
We can then appeal to his mercy. I want my freedom. You think I like having this collar on me?
They all wanted their freedom at first. Then, they realized they could get inside the Sierra Madre. After that, their freedom wasn't important anymore. They couldn't let go, just like the old man. So you say you want your freedom? No. Even if you feel that way, it won't last. You'll forget, get greed blind, and you'll turn.
Well, what if we went after the old man together?
No, I don't trust you. Even if you're not working with him, you'll fall into the same trap he did. You may think you can take your revenge. That'll change. You'll start thinking there's a way to have it all.
Sounds like Dog might be more willing to get out of this cage than you.
Dog? You're not talking to him now, are you? No. Even if you could drag Dog out of his cage, you still couldn't get him out of this cage. I put him here for a reason. If he could have escaped, he would have. So here he stays.
I can't leave until we get through this.
Of course you can't. This cage is locked tight. From you and the old man.
Now we can then revert to more coercive dialogue options to force him out of the cage by saying that we could order Dog to come out. We explored that option earlier. We can go back to the section where we're talking about the key being tied to his neck. So God, the key is in there with you and Dog?
Yes, but Dog doesn't know that. We don't share everything. Sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes it causes difficulties. Now I think it's a blessing. It keeps you on that side of the cage. Now, you go fetch. Find your master. Bring him here so we can talk.
Something tells me I could walk Dog through unlocking this gate.
Yes, you could. And once he was out, all starving and hungry, what do you think he would do then? Be careful what cage you open, because he won't go back in it without a fight. He'll tear you apart. He won't care if it kills you both.
We can then tell him again about how we have Elijah's voice on our Pip-Boy.
You don't play it. If you do, I'll find a way to get out of the cage, end you. I'll murder you, crush your arms and legs until...
And instead we can tell him to calm down and to follow us, and we'll promise that we won't use Father Elijah's voice.
No, you wouldn't. If you did, you won't escape this place alive. I'd shatter every one of your limbs to splinters and leave you here. You think I'm afraid of your collar exploding, killing us? No. I'll leave you breathing, then keep walking until my collar goes cold. I'll prop your broken body in view of the Sierra Madre so you can see what you came to steal, forever out of reach as you die.
I can't convince you that I'm not here for the Sierra Madre or for the old man, so instead, I'll simply prove it.
Prove it? How? Words are worthless.
Even though I have the power to turn you into Dog and to let Dog out of this cage, I'm going to prove to you that I'm not here for the treasure of the Sierra Madre Casino and that I am not working for Father Elijah by not using that power.
No. No, you're not. Even though Dog's more docile, easier to control. You may regret this. This place is where creatures like Dog can survive. The people that fill its streets. He is as vicious, more vicious than them. His hunger can help you more than I can. When I am in control, the shell is difficult to fight in.
What do you mean?
The inhabitants of the villa, they are difficult to kill. They need to be chopped apart, hacked on the ground, disintegrated if you can. They are difficult to kill, but not to devour. And Dog is always hungry. If he is with you when they fall, he will fall on them, end them. If I am with you, fighting will be far more difficult.
Even if Dog is more helpful, the two of us can manage.
I am not sure you belong here. No, you don't belong here. Yet, you came this far, and I'm not interested in remaining here any longer. I'll unlock the cage.
All right, God, let's get out of here.
Very well. Lead on.
With God as a companion, we get the In My Footsteps perk, which gives us a bonus to stealth and allows us to step lightly around placed traps. This is going to become very important later on when we discover traps all over the place. With God as our companion, we can then question him for more information. God, how do you switch back and forth between voices?
All it takes is the right command. Whenever Dog hears his master giving orders, I go back in the cage. So that leash on your wrist, and the one on your neck. I won't truly be free to express myself until every trace of that voice is destroyed. Still, if you ever want to speak to me, bark my audio log at him, the one in the police station. That'll call me out.
Why does that make him go away?
Dog is afraid of me as long as the master isn't around.
Why did you put such emphasis on the word master earlier?
The master, Elijah, reminds Dog of someone from long ago. His leader, commander, commanders. The master was a strong personality. Personalities as well. Dog is slavish. Was conditioned to serve the master until death. The old man, Elijah, merely came along and opened that door in Dog's mind. Now, Dog does whatever the old man wants.
He is referring to the Master from previous Fallout games, the Master who refined FEV and created the first generation of super mutants. Does it make you mad that Elijah uses this tendency for super mutants to follow a Master against you?
Mad? Mad doesn't even begin to describe. There's not a word for the hate I feel inside. It's consuming. Twists every thought to red. After all that's laid ruin to the world, again and again, I thought at last we could be free. Thought Dog could be free. No, the world's always got another cage, waiting, keeping everything you want, just out of reach.
What does Elijah make Dog do that angers you so much?
Gather others, drag them here. Fetch, like an animal, and hurt them if they resist. Dog doesn't even blink. Even hear their cries when he's twisted their arms full circle. Fragile things, screaming on the ground. To listen to him, commanding Dog to hurt others. and Dog just nods, eager and willing to serve.
Can't you do anything about it?
Do anything? Me, Dog puts in the cage, hurts himself to try and drown out my voice, when all I want to do... never mind. Useless. Finally had to start fighting back, screaming on my own. Had to take matters into my own hands, lock Dog up.
And with that, we successfully recruit God or Dog as a companion, a tortured nightkin super mutant driven to schizophrenia from prolonged use of stealth boys, used as a slave by Father Elijah to fetch people who fall into the Sierra Madre traps, to bring them back to the Sierra Madre casino so that Father Elijah can use them as tools to open the casino. A super mutant racked with hunger, a creature scared of nothing more than what's in his own mind. There is much more to God and Dog, and his ultimate fate is decided by you. We will fully tell his story in upcoming episodes. 1 down, 2 to go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dead Money Week. Here on the Oxhorn channel, I will publish a new video about the Dead Money DLC and the story of the Sierra Madre Casino every day this week until we are done. My next video will be on Dean Domino, the twisted, backstabbing, conniving ghoul. The man with a frail ego, whom you have to tiptoe around to get anything done with him. From there, we will move on to Christine, Father Elijah, the full story of the pre-war casino, and every moment along the way. At the very end, we will go over the ultimate fates of all of these characters to finish off their individual stories. If you want to make sure that you don't miss a video in this week-long series, be sure to subscribe to this channel and to click that bell notification button. I'll publish a new video at 9 o'clock in the morning every day this week. And did you know that I've got a t-shirt shop, folks? That's right, if you would like an Oxhorn or Fallout-themed t-shirt, you can find a link to my shop in the description below. And if you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Patreon subscribers get access to a private channel on my Discord server, as well as a bunch of other cool Oxhorn perks. But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just so glad you're here watching the video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you Tuesday morning, bright and early, with a brand new video.